What's the wildest reason you finally moved out? I pay my parents $800 a month to live at home while finishing my master's degree. Plus, I covered the internet, streaming services, and half the groceries. My room is the converted attic I renovated myself with $4,000 of my savings, new flooring, insulation, built-in desk, even a tiny bathroom. It's basically a studio apartment without a kitchen. When Mom told me cousin Janet was visiting from Arizona, I was genuinely happy. We'd been close as kids before her family moved. She can have the guest room, I said, already mentally planning where we'd go for dinner. Actually, I told her she could stay in your room. You'll take the couch for the week. A week, not a weekend. And the couch was this ancient thing that sank in the middle like a taco. Mom, I have thesis presentations this week and work. I need my desk set up. My family comes first, Riley. Don't be selfish. I suggested the guest room again. It had a queen bed, dresser, even its own TV. Mom's face went red. That room isn't suitable for guests. It was suitable when Aunt Karen visited last month. This is different. Janet needs privacy. She's going through something. Going through something could mean anything from a breakup to a hangnail in our family. But I held firm. My room, my rent, my rules. That night, I installed a smart lock on my door with a camera. Paranoid? Maybe. But Mom had been acting weird lately, measuring my windows, asking about my work schedule, commenting on how wasteful it was for one person to have so much space. Janet arrived the next day, and the guilt trip intensified. Mom had apparently told everyone I'd refused to help poor Janet in her time of need. My phone exploded with messages from relatives calling me heartless. But here's the thing. Janet looked confused when I apologized for the guest room situation. What guest room? Aunt Deb said you were renovating and I'd have my own apartment-style space upstairs for the month. Month? Not week. Month. That evening, while Mom and Janet were at dinner, I did some snooping. Found Mom's email open on the family computer and discovered a thread with Janet from 2 months ago. Mom had offered to rent Janet my room for $400 a month while she got back on her feet after her divorce. Not visit, live. The emails detailed how I'd be moving out soon anyway, news to me, and Janet could take over the lease of the attic space. Mom had even sent photos of my room, calling it the rental unit. But that wasn't the worst part. Mom had been showing my room to other people too. Found emails with 3 different potential tenants, all promises that the current occupant would be gone by month's end. She'd even taken deposits, $200 from each person as a holding fee. She'd also been in my room while I was at work, photographing my belongings for Facebook Marketplace. My gaming setup, my ergonomic chair, my mini fridge, all listed as moving sale, must go by November 1st. She'd been telling people I was relocating for a job I never applied for. Then I found the legal document that made everything clear. My parents were refinancing the house and needed to show additional income to qualify. Mom had listed the attic as a rental unit generating $1,200 monthly. The bank had already approved the loan based on this rental income. If they found out I was their daughter paying below market rent, not a tenant, the loan would be rejected. They needed me gone and a real tenant in place before the bank's inspection in 3 weeks. I confronted them that night with everything printed out. Dad's face went white. Turns out Mom had told him I'd agreed to move out after graduation and they could start renting to Janet. You took deposits from 3 different people for my room? Mom tried to deflect. You're 25. You shouldn't even be living here. You're committing fraud. Bank fraud. Rental fraud. Janet, bless her, was horrified. She'd given Mom first month's rent and a security deposit, $1,200 total, thinking she was helping the family and getting a place to stay. The next morning, I contacted all 3 deposit victims with screenshots of Mom's listings. They all demanded refunds. One was a lawyer who explicitly mentioned wire fraud and interstate commerce, since she'd sent the money from Colorado. The bank got an anonymous tip about the fraudulent rental claim. Mom had to return everyone's money, the refinance was denied, and Janet stayed for exactly 2 nights in the guest room before flying home early because the family drama was too much. I'm moving out next month into a lovely 2-bedroom with Janet as my roommate. Turned out she works remotely and just needed an affordable place. We're paying $1,800 total for twice the space, and nobody's trying to sell my furniture while I'm at work. Mom asked if I'd consider staying and paying $1,200 to help with their mortgage. I sent her a link to her own Facebook Marketplace listings of my belongings with a simple no.